Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away and it's the end of the week and I thought we're going to do something pretty special today because this will be the first time you've seen something that I'm doing today ever on this channel, which is going to be pretty amazing. I'm doing stages 63 to 68 of the Fanhome release, a build the world of Warcraft Lich King. So what is so special? Well, we are working with some materials, and I've got them behind me here, which we've never actually worked with before. It's actually started the clothing for the Lich King, which means we're working with furs and chainmail. Believe it or not, we're working with chainmail, which is going to be absolutely brilliant. If you do want to get this for yourself, I don't know if this is available. I have put a link in the video description, and you have the QR code on the screen. Can't wait to see this. Without further ado, let's get cracking. So we're going to start with stage 63, and here is the magazine, looking like this. And the first thing we're going to do is have the upper structure of the left arm, and we're going to be attaching this just like that to what we've created on this body so far. So you will get to see where we're up to just with the full body here. There you go. To one side and bring up the main body we've been working on, which at the moment, as you can see, looks just like this. Nice. So I'm opening stage 63 here. Perfect. And this is basically going to be going onto the arm just like that. Pretty cool, huh? Now, if I just turn it over, it's going to be held in from the other side with the KP screws, which are going in here. And I'll get that screwed in. I'm starting to second guess myself. Did we have a part which was missing last time? I can't remember. I'm looking at the instructions here and pretty much what this does is where I'm up to with the instructions, so that's good. So I think we are up to date with this. But with this last screw just going in here, that's the upper arm section completed. That's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, now I've done that stage and I'm looking at this area here, it's just occurred to me that we are missing a section because basically I should have had this area just here, which I believe was stage 62. And look, that got delivered now. We've got that here. So I need to find the other part that goes on the other side. 1 second. I do believe that part was stage 61 here. So I couldn't do 61 if you remember because I didn't have the other side either. So I believe we're now in a position that we can actually put all of this together. I'm hoping we are. Let's see how this goes. That's right, they sent me 2 stage 61s. I knew something on this build wasn't right. So I'm glad that I now get the opportunity to actually fix that. So the first section we need looks just like this in stage 61. I am aware on the video this is going to be in the complete wrong order now because we've just done 63 and now we're jumping back to 61. This is going to be going into here. So let me just make sure that's a nice fit. There you go. That fits lovely in there. It's going to be held in with RP screws. And we need a few of them. 5 of these actually we're going to be putting in here. I'm actually going to do stages 60 and 61 together because we're going to be doing the same thing on stage 60 with the part that we just get here. So let's put that one in as well. And once again, this is going to be held in with RP screws. See what I mean? Completely out of kilter. Just take my advice. I'm doing stages 60 and 61 together here. Yeah, something was racking my brain when I was doing that first stage, I think stage 63, and I thought, I'm sure we had something missing on this build. Obviously, they've delivered that now. Okay, so this is going to be the back side of the Lich King. So, if that's the case, I'm going to turn this around. And put this in position. Now, these parts here on the legs aren't actually meant to be on yet. But I'm more interested in this top of the body section here. Because that's going on just like that. And everywhere you see a hole, we're going to be putting one of these RP screws. I'm just taking off his calves here because we don't actually put them on yet either. Now, I don't know how many screws we've got here. We've got a lot. It says 18 in the instructions. This is going to give me a blister. People say, Wayne, why don't you use the WoW stick when you're doing this? It's because the WoW stick just doesn't have the torque. This is the WoW stick. It doesn't have the torque to screw these in. So, short of using a proper drill, like you see me doing on the Dalek, this is probably the best way to do this. It's interesting that we're going to be attaching the body, but we haven't put this other arm in yet. So we're actually going to be dressing the Lich King in a second. Got all this screwing has made me want to turn the aircon on. I'm getting hot now. This is the last screw just going in here. Perfect. And now that screws in, I'm in a position now to actually put the top cover over. So I'm just going to line everything up. Just like that. Turn over the Lich King. Make sure everything's engaged here. Because I'm going to be using LP screws now to actually secure this body together. And there you go. What I've done on one side, I'm going to flip him over. Do the same on the other side. Okay, so that's all of that in, and then I've just got the two at the top here. And there you go. So a little bit out of order, but that is stage 60 and 61 complete. So in stage 64, here's the magazine. And as you can see, and what I did mention, we're going to start dressing the Lich King. So we've got the breeches here. Putting these on like this. All we're doing is putting his pants on. Okay. Okay, so these look just like this. I want to be very careful when I open this to make sure I'm not cutting any of the material. And this is the first bit of material we've got. Now we've got one side with holes in, one side without. So the holes are going to go towards the front. So to dress him, I can't believe I'm dressing something. This is crazy. I've never done this before. Okay, we're going to put his pants on this way round. You think having 4 kids I'd be good at this, but yeah, right. Okay, you see we've got these parts here and here. I'm guessing we need to make sure that they go through the holes. So let's put this all the way up. So I think I've just turned him over. I've put his trousers up as far as they'll go. Obviously these now come through the whole section there. Do the Velcro back up so his flies are done up. And there you go. With that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. Now I can't wait to see what's in the next stage. Stage 65. I told you, firsts today. Okay, we have got the Chainmail. Look at this. This is the Chainmail. What's this called? Whatever that is. Someone please phonetically put that in comments how you pronounce that. We're going to be putting this over the top of the legs now. And obviously these have got holes in as well. And it looks like we're putting screws in there, are we? We're putting something in. TP screws, yeah, to keep that into place. So there you go. Got these breeches and chainmail on. And this is what that chainmail looks like. Let's get this open. And this is pretty cool. I just love the feeling of this material. Obviously, being metal, this is incredibly heavy. This is really going to make the Lich King heavy. Really, really is. So, obviously, this side here has got the cutouts here. So, I'm going to do exactly the same thing as we've just done. But I'm going to put these over the top so that those holes... I don't even know how you dress someone in chainmail. This is a first for me. I'm going to match the holes in this chainmail here. So I'm just gently pushing these up to where it's got to go. Look, I'm telling you, all of my years of playing with Action Men, or G.I. Joe, as it's known in America, has paid off. There you go. Now I've got these TP screws here, which are going to keep this into place. What we need to do, I'm guessing, is find a ring for these to fit through. We've got 2 holes at the top here by the look of it. One there. One over this side. So that's going to help line this up. Pick a ring and get that attached to the hole at the top. So there's one there. Not too tight, otherwise I'm going to be warping this. I am holding this like a pen as well. And I'm just going to work my way around here with every hole that I can find. Obviously this ensures his pads don't fall down. Turn him over. Let's do the ones behind. And I do have a problem that the 4 screws that go into here, I think it's the screw on the other side where we've screwed these in is stopping this going in here. I don't even think I can get a screw in because I think that's metal in there. I'm starting to wonder if I should have put screws in there, but I'm guessing we should have. I don't know. I just want to test that theory. I've got a handheld drill here. I just want to see if that is metal in there. That certainly is metal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill my own holes next to this, which means I can then drive these self-tapping screws through here, but I can't get them in the holes because I said the screws are going to stop that. So I've made a hole, as you can see, and I've got the self-tapping screw here just to guide the hole. I've probably done something wrong, but at least this way his breeches aren't going to fall down. I think I'm going to leave it like that because that's now held into place. Absolutely lovely. We can get these through the holes again, just like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So stage 66. Here's the instructions. And we've got our first piece of fur, the left greave, looking like this. We're going to actually put the legs on now. And we're going to be attaching these in with LP. So this is the calf, should I say. We're going to do the same on the other side just there. And then we're going to be padding this out with this fur. That looks great. Okay. So let's get out stage 66 without cutting any of this fur. And there's the screws that I need. Okay, time to put these calf pieces in. Now, first thing I'm going to do is the right leg. This one over here. I need to make sure I've got the right thing. See, this is the right leg. Look how this goes. So it's actually going to be fitting on that way. This is the back of the leg. So this will be going on here. And what I want to do, if I can just pick up the Lich King, I want to trap the, probably best on the side camera, the chainmail into this section here. Because then what that will do is it's going to pinch this into place when I put the top on here, so it can't go anywhere, as you can see. Excellent. Then I'm holding this in with 6 LP screws. So I'll just get all of these in place. Perfect. And then what I've done on one leg, I'm just going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So again, I'll stand him up to let this chain hang down so I can put this in. Put the top on. And again, the LP screws to secure that in. So, that's in place. Now, with this fur, I'm going to try and find the holes, which are here, and put this over the leg. Hopefully you can see this. I've got one hole here. There should be one underneath as well. Which is right there. So that's one done. That's all there is to do in that stage. I love this build. Okay, stage 67. Here's the instructions. And we're making the left shin guard now. So we're going to be putting this onto what we created earlier. So then I guess we can strap this to the outside of that fur. So that's how that's going to look. So I've got that here. Let's get this out open. So I've got both of the shin guards here. And I'm trying to figure out which one's the left one. Because there's no things on here saying left or right. I don't think it matters. I think they're exactly identical. So let me just have a look how they lie. Yeah, I think they are identical. So I'm just going to take one of these. Now when I put these on, they're going to need to be this way round. So the flaps are facing upwards. And then we're going to be putting this over the top. But you know what? Let me figure this out. There's no holes for this to actually bite in. So I think we just hold it like this. It is going to be able to move underneath once I've tightened it, as you can see. But I'll put the straps kind of like where they go. And I'll screw this down into place, which are these LP screws again. We need 2 of these. I'm not too worried about them moving in there because I need to adjust them to the leg. That's in there like that. Bring over this leg, and as you see, we've got a magnet on here. We want the magnet to be making sure all the holes are visible here. Stand by. That looks good. So the magnet's going to go on the top. And this one is going to go in here, which is just a push in. As you heard that clip in there. Excellent. Then it's going to be a case of turning him upside down and putting the straps in. So straps go, hopefully on the one camera here, through the second one here. Make it tight and then bring it out the first one. Just like that. Nice. Do the same on the bottom one. So that's on there. Just going to use a bit of glue to keep this skull part on. And there you go. That is how that looks. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So the last stage of this pack, and this pack was absolutely awesome. I loved it. Is basically, here's the instructions, and we've got the next bit of fur, which we're just slipping on. Not actually doing anything with that at the moment. Perfect. So I've got that here. Once again, I'll cut very far up to the top, so I'm not cutting the fur. Just take a look inside the fur. Just so I can see where the holes are, and I can see the holes are here. Just here. And once again, just going to dress the Lich King, ensuring that the magnet goes through the hole there, and then we've got the place for the other plug-in section just there. But with that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. What an amazing pack. Check that out. That looks absolutely brilliant. I love it. Looking like that. Obviously we've got his trousers and stuff to do yet, but he's certainly coming along. Wow. I really enjoyed that. Something different to end the week with as well. I hope you liked that. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And please, if you haven't subscribed, support the channel and click that subscribe button. I'll be really appreciative. Other than that, take care.